What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Asia session. I hope you guys are doing great, doing absolutely amazing as usual. And yesterday, remember the trade that we took together. Just remember, guys, it was this long. Let me pull out the chat here so I can see the people who were in with me, or just telling me that this trade was not going to work out, because it did. That trade ended up hitting, and not just that trade though. Remember I said gold also was a very good long, ended up hitting also immediately, literally this one, for a 1-to-1, a little bit more than a 1-to-1. I think I said to have my stop loss right here, right below those wicks. I mean, right now within the Asia session, we are at 5 wins, 0 losses. So yeah, yesterday I know it was definitely a trade where it was in drawdown when we were during the live session, but right after we closed the live session, ended up rallying the overnight session and took my profits at 9:44 during the New York session. So this is exactly what I was referring to yesterday. So let me just make the announcement right here. I know the session is new for some people, so let me put that into my Discord so more people can join, and let's try to make some bread. Let's try to make some money. All right. Let me see also here with the camera, just making sure I look good, not mog. All right, this is better. All right, guys, how are y'all doing? How is everyone doing in the chat? Hopefully you guys didn't get caught shorting this market at the bottom here at around 12:30. It was a pretty big rally, and also during the trading floor segment, okay, which is the lunch hour. So from 12:30 to 1:30, this is also something I host. I was also talking about, someone asked me, what is gonna turn you bullish? And I literally said, we were trading here, okay? I was like, currently this candle closed bearish. We have a pretty big down wick telling me that, responsive buyers stepped in. I don't necessarily want to engage into shorts right now because this wick is scaring me basically. But I would think that those lines right here, this candle that closed bearish, will act as a wall for the next candle, and the next one will potentially close bearish also. But the only thing that would turn me bullish within the next hour or the power hour would be a candle closing above this one within the fair value gap. I literally said those exact words, and I said once this candle will close, I would anticipate that we are going to dig deeper within that gap within the next hour. So any longs within here would be on side for my strategy. So it is exactly what ended up happening. We did see a closure engulfing. Just use your candlestick patterns that you learned, and then on the higher time frame, and then scale down to a lower in order to confirm that bias. And then boom, ended up pushing higher again and higher again. If you just use the framework I talk about every single day, once a candle closes bearish, the next one will close bearish also. Once a candle closes bullish, the next one will also close bullish. It can do you wonders. So currently within this market, I am looking to potentially long this open. Why? We have an hour, the 4-hour unfilled gap right above us, right? We had a huge rejection from the last 3 hours of the market close. $1,000 handle move to the upside. So the open is going to be within the next 30 seconds. So we'll see how we can do here. All right, let's see if we can have a nice move down first. I would want to see a move down first towards this candle to have the best possible entry, and then try to long back towards this unfilled gap. This is basically going to be my my thesis here. So the open is in 2 seconds, opened up, drives down lower first. Let me see here if I can grab a nice long here. Wow, the volume is so huge. I'll literally just enter 1 micro right there. Let me see the pullback. I'll enter 1 micro right here and add to my position. All right. I want to target this unfilled 4-hour gap. Let's see how I can do here. So it's currently opening up lower without any upwick. I would want to see us go down and fill my order before it even goes up. No, come on, Brave. I don't want to jump in too aggressively, but it might be the only like higher time frame opportunity we get. It's gonna flip back above the open here. I don't want that to happen. Let's see. Who's gonna get in with me in that long? I'll actually just get in right here. I'll get in on the first contract right here and add to my position once we come down towards 44. Same kind of trades I usually take, but on a different time frame. Yesterday I took this one, the same exact one on the daily, ended up hitting. You see, we had the same exact pattern. This daily candle closing back within the range, having that unfilled gap. This was my target. I longed from below the open right back into the daily gap. So I'm gonna get in longs very soon. Hopefully if that 5-minute bar can print to the downside and fill me, but I won't try to chase it. I might try to chase it. I want to chase it. Because even the micro contract is big, like it's pretty huge. I have a feeling the open might be like very hectic anyways. First 5-minute bar. So I want to let some room for my trade to actually, survive in an instance where it actually pulls back. Like yesterday, if I entered too aggressively yesterday, I would have gotten absolutely destroyed. Let's wait, chat. Let's wait, chat. So let's get rid of that daily bar because we don't really care about it. We're trading off of that 4-hour. You see, there's an unfilled 4-hour gap right above us, showing me that within the last 12 hours, the sellers were in control, so in control that they didn't give a fair exchange to buyers within that range. So that area for me has low volume and should be the next stop, the next fuel level before actually going to the downside if the trend is going to be bearish. So here, my thesis is that within that bar, we have more chances of seeing the high than the low. So I just want to survive within that pullback. I don't know when price is going to be ready to reverse, but I know that if I enter here too heavy, a small little retracement would kill me and would force me to get out of a potential winning position. So let's see. I might potentially miss out on it though. Might potentially miss out on it, and I don't care about missing out on it. Really, I do care a little bit. I do care a little bit for you guys. I would want to be 6-0 during the Asia session. I definitely want. Moss, what brand is your chair? I want to have the same one. Why? Why do you want to have the same chair as me? It's not even a good chair. It's like a chair that I found on Costco. Literally. By the way, I fixed my Wi-Fi. Hopefully I'll look okay tonight. Yesterday was a fucking mess, but still was 600 people watching me, so shows the type of love I get. Know what I'm saying? Guys, we might not be in this. No. The question is, am I being too passive? Am I being too passive here? I am actually being a little bit too passive. Actually being way too passive here. I think I am. Yeah, I'm gonna get in here with 1 micro. Right there, and if it pulls back all the way to 72, I'll enter again with another micro. So we'll see how that goes. So something like this. No SL Butcher. As soon as I entered, top of the range, exactly like yesterday. Hell no. How's the chat doing tonight, though? Who caught some shorts today? Who caught some shorts? I did. And you know, one thing I talked about, which is very different from a live account than a prop account, like a sim account, is the FOMO. Not the FOMO of it's the FOMO of seeing a move that you could have potentially just went, like, dragged your stop loss exactly where your take profit should have been, and you know, trailing your stop loss right above every single 1 minute bar, and you didn't do it. And you knew you could do it because you saw how big the push from the internal low was, and you just took profits, and then you see 1,000-point dump in literally 15 minutes without any retracement. I felt it this morning. I usually don't feel it because usually it's like a move, like a 60-point move, 100-point move maybe, but 1,000, like it was what, 700? Man, I definitely did feel some sort of way. But you know, gotta remind yourself that we're blessed. I still made $1,300 on my live account, daily payout, requested it. So you know, gotta remind myself I'm still lucky, you know. But in the first place, though, my job within this trade was to make 1,000. Ended up making 1.3. But then when I saw the move after, human brain, greedy brain, is like, holy shit, I could have made that amount. You know, just normal, but you got to catch yourself saying that, catching yourself being greedy a little bit, you know. Let's see the chat here. How are y'all doing, chat? How are y'all doing? So I'm in a starter position at 76. Do I think it's gonna retrace? I think the better trade is the entry right now. The better trade is the aggressive entry at the close and the open of Asia, back towards that unfilled 4-hour. If we retrace deeper, it is not going to be lower probability. I'm just going to have a better entry, which is going to be more discounted. But in terms of, okay, what am I feeling right now? I'm feeling a pump back towards the 4-hour, like right now. So this is why I entered a long position right here, playing it a little bit differently than most people would do. You know, I DCA within a trade, and I focus on the framework, focus on being right on the direction rather than being right on the entry, the pinpoint entry, you know. So currently I want to scalp this 4-hour unfilled for value gap. We just closed within that 4-hour. We opened on the new one, the Asia Open at 6 p.m. Also the daily open. We had a pretty aggressive move within the last 4-hour, and within the last 12, we were so aggressive to the downside that we created a gap that is still yet to be filled, and that gap holds a lot of orders within it. And I judge that this gap has low volume in it and should be the next bus stop in order for the market to be efficient. If it retraces, I'll add. What do you mean? What is this? What happened? Alright, bro, ain't no way I'm going for it without a fucking chart. What happened? Let me see here. Okay. Short or long? I'm long right now. Full port. I'm gonna be in a full port if it goes down aggressively back to 73. Is your internet from Costco too? Everything is from Costco. Literally everything. HD version today. Yeah, you had to be there yesterday though, endure the pain, me being blurry to then today see my face in 4K. Hey Moz, do you ever trade ES since it moves slower? Yes, I do trade ES from 10 to 10:45 AM every single day. I favor ES during that time, so the silver bullet hour, so the first hourly candle after the open, so from 10 to 11 basically. I favor ES because usually it is the driving asset. It is the one that will break highs and NQ will follow, and usually with my data I saw that NQ is being used a lot as a tool to fake out people to then create the real move on ES. So that's also a big reason why I trade ES. I love ES. The thing is, ES is a little bit slower and it requires more contracts to make the same amount of money as NQ, you know. So definitely sometimes miss NQ during the, but I definitely trade NQ always. You know, I would say I only trade ES from 10 to 11. After that, it's NQ. Or even before that, it's NQ also. Man, if you just reverse your position when you close your long. Yeah, imagine. Like, you would have caught, I would have caught a 1,700 point move to the downside. Why don't you guys use order flow? It's so useful. Very good question, and I have a very good answer for you too. Order flow is something useful once you have a framework and you are able to simplify those concepts into a system. But what happens with order flow is that they're just concepts, exactly like your normal ICT concepts or, you know, supply and demand. They're just concepts to explain something in hindsight. So until you find a true reason why price goes from A to B because of a thing that you see on the order flow chart, then most likely what you're trading is just noise. You're seeing the chart in hindsight the day after, or, you know, a few hours after, and you're like, oh, there was an absorption here, then price reversed. But how many times did you see an absorption without price actually moving in the opposite direction? Which is gonna make you think a lot. One thing also why I focus so much on candlesticks is that there's a beauty within the simplicity of it. The more complex your edge is, the more you can overfit your trading strategy. What is overfitting? It means that you are gonna blend in a lot of information within the chart, and knowing that this market is so liquid and there's a lot of randomness into it, you're also gonna blend in randomness that is not gonna be replicated within the future price action. So the more tools that you have, the more you look at volume, this, that, bubbles, then the more you can blend in noise that will never apply in the future, and you're just trading the noise of the past, basically. So that's also a big reason why I'm not too focused on this. Does it work? Absolutely. There is plenty of great traders that use order flow and are very, you know, very, very good. I think it's a different approach that still requires you to understand candlesticks and to understand direction, which you don't get from the footprint chart or the order flow. In my opinion, a candlestick, so time and price, especially time, gives you the best a roadmap to understand who's in control within the market. Does this long reflect your recent video? It is literally my recent video. There is a 4-hour unfilled fair value gap. I waited for this 4-hour candle to close and a brand new one to open. We have a lot of aggressiveness from the last 4-hour. Plus, we have an unfilled fair value gap above us. This area has low volume, in my opinion, and has more chances of being hit than this internal low. So this is why I'm long. And this is also the reason why I was long yesterday with the same framework, with the same exact candlestick pattern. And I was in a drawdown for like 2 hours and then popped right back up at 9 p.m., went break even, went to sleep, and woke up great. Woke up great. You know? So was my answer regarding the order flow good enough for you? But I think, you know, it's still a very useful tool. I think Bookmap also is very good. You just need to make it work for yourself, you know? But that's a very good thing you just approached. The thing though is like there is multiple types of edge within this market. There is, you know, speed, advantage of speed, which we don't have or will never have because we don't have the tools in order to, you know, compete with those bots. That's one. Another edge you can have is informational advantage. You have information that most people don't have access to because you either have a trading bot that is giving you some sort of mathematical things behind why price doesn't have a lot of chances of either continuating in a certain direction or reversing in a certain direction. And that, you know, those kind of softwares, they usually cost like $5,000 US per month, which most people cannot buy. So that informational advantage too is something you'll most likely never have. The only thing that comes down to would be candlesticks or regular tools that are given to retail traders, which I think are great too, and you can find your way just by putting a lot of time and effort into finding a system, you know. What is the biggest mistake you still struggle with? What is the biggest mistake I still struggle with, or I still do? I would say to have such a short-term perspective of the market. It's like sometimes I catch myself being ungrateful in a span of 2 weeks since my strategy is not performing, when in reality, I'm here for the long run. I'm here to survive for the next 10, 15 years. So why am I focused on the results that I had in the last 15 days, where in reality, that super small sample size has nothing to do with the real statistic of my edge. So that is what I still struggle with. But I, you know, every day I try to, you know, be better in those metrics. Try to stay grateful for whatever the market gives me. Even if it's a win, a loss, I'll learn from it. Costco got bomb hot dogs and pizza. Bro, just go, okay. Type Costco's pizza calories. You will be flabbergasted right now. When I saw that, I was like, what in the calories is this shit? It's, I think, one singular pizza, of course it's big, but one singular pizza is like 5,000 calories or like 4.5K. Bro, like even 2 slices is too much. Second, hot dogs are not bad, I won't lie, but if you take more than one, you know how you're gonna feel after that. I'm telling you. It's like, it's so greasy. The grease literally comes back here. And I've had hundreds of hot dogs like those. But at Costco, one thing that is super underrated, I think, is the ice cream. Holy shit, the ice cream is so good. I don't know if it's this, you know, the same in the States or here in Canada, but the Costco that I go, holy shit, it's good. For a $2 ice cream, yeah, it's pretty good. Once you're above 40, your whole wardrobe comes from Costco. I feel it. I feel it. What's your feeling saying about the market action today? Shakeout. This is a continuation. I never know where the market is gonna go if the daily candle doesn't close super strong or super weak. It's usually the reactions from the New York session or London that is gonna give me cues to then potentially form some sort of thesis. Currently, my thesis is formed from the 4-hour chart. The daily is not giving me good information. If I go on this daily chart, what is happening? We're rejecting the previous candle's low, we're rejecting the previous candle's high. We close back within the range of those two levels with a down wick that has 918 points, an up wick with 411, and a body with 300. We are in a range where I don't know what's going to happen within the daily chart. We see rejection, but we are rejecting highs, we're rejecting lows, we're closing back within the range. So since I can't read the daily chart, I am going to scale down to a 4-hour and try to read it, because time is fractal. Even if I don't find a trade within the daily, I could potentially find something within the 4-hour or the hourly. So then scaling down to the 4-hour, I have a certain framework that is showing up right now that tells me that in the next 4-hour, I see the next bar printing to the upside. I think there is more chances of the next 4-hour candle to print to the upside and fill that gap rather than printing to the downside and break this low. So within this range, I only need to survive and be right on the side, basically, rather than the timing of the entry. So here I'm going to try to long here, maybe even below this low. That would be very aggressive from me, though. It's a 300-point range, but I entered with 1 micro, so I really don't mind. So I could extend all the way to like a 2.5k risk within that trade. But currently, it's, for me, even on this hourly chart, I like how we are inversing this gap within the hourly. It's definitely not the reason why I'm taking it. Mostly based on the 4-hour and this candle closing, the new one opening. But yeah, so we'll see. I can definitely see some drawdown within that trade. I am not too worried about it. We're in for a ride. And even if I get stopped out, you guys already know how I think about it. You guys already know. Hopefully I don't. Hopefully it will be a 6-0 streak. I still need to take my gold trade though with you guys. Let me see. Let me see some comments here. Yesterday, that shit went straight down though. That entry needed to work. I don't believe in entries. To be completely honest, I don't believe in entries. I think entries are random. That's my view, my hypothesis on the market. I believe in finding the overall direction and having a wide enough stop so you can survive the trade. But I don't believe in replicating or a certain exact entry with a tight stop over the long run, or top ticking and bottom ticking. So for me, I really don't mind taking some heat. It is normal, and I take heat on literally every trade. What's the stop on this trade? 85 points. So I'll enter another micro if it goes down to 72, then the average will be 19, put my stop loss at a 1-to-1 from there. So it's like, wait, so it's gonna be something that looks like this. Will be this. The trade will end up looking like this, which is very aggressive. Very aggressive. Yesterday but the thing is, there's a difference between yesterday's trade and today's trade. Yesterday's trade, we closed here. We closed around this area. So then we opened up lower and then pushed up higher. Or here, we're closing strong. So if I don't enter now and it goes up, then I was able to see the read, but I was just so lame that I didn't enter. You know? So like I need to make up for that strong close. Let me see here. Costco pizza has hella protein though, good for macros. Yeah, just gotta make sure you hit that cardio though. You gotta hit that cardio before hitting that 700 calorie slice. Drumstick ice cream are great. Yeah, I agree. Who won the Grand Cup? I think it's Afro. What is it? Afro. I forgot his name. Afro something. It was facing Euro, and both of them did great, but Afro ended up with $13,000 of profits. You know, it was the best day to face the final. 1,600 point move. Ice cream is still just like the only sweet treat I can eat without feeling terrible. I agree. Bro, I'm in the exact same trade as you. Let's go. The nitrates in hot dogs is what you need to worry about. It's cancer causing. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that hot dogs give you cancer. That is pretty accurate for me. That is a pretty accurate statement. Genuine question. Do you trade the Asia session because your strategy has an edge there, or because you enjoy watching price move at the speed of government paperwork? To be fair, during the Asia session, there is no kind of, it is very hard for me to find an edge in something else than those higher time frame candles. So it's either the daily that I'm trying to scalp the high or the low of the previous daily candle. If it closed strong, I'm gonna try to enter aggressively within the 6 p.m. open, or the 4 hour, how the last 4 hour closed, or maybe the 1 hour. If it's a 15, it's very different in terms of edge and in terms of statistics. So I would say I enjoy it, and of course the same market mechanics apply to the Asia session and the New York session, but the higher the time frame, the more valuable the candlestick pattern becomes. 100%. Moss, you can top tick entries. No, I can't. I literally can't. Can you give me my one lecture? I don't understand what you said. Can you give my boy Electric City a play? Eh? Talking in like Fortnite terms or NBA terms so I can understand, please. So if there's 3,000 contracts sitting on the bid and it fails and then rebids, is that random intent? Let me tell you one thing. The amount of spoofing within this market, the amount of people that are putting contracts to then scare the shit out of you, or, you know, make price go in a certain direction and then delete it, is insane. That information will scare you more than anything else. And I was trading that way. It comes from someone who started trading with order flow. back in 2022, 2023, this is the first thing I went for. And one thing I learned is that no matter how, those are just concepts. Finding an edge and blending in concepts are two different things. If you trade the order flow and you try to find a trade every single day that you will, let's say, have some intuition within it, or just some decision making overall, because you're seeing the tape, seeing this and that. For me, it's not my style. It's very hard to back test. Also, it's something you can only forward test. A lot of noise within those metrics too. It's, for me, an iceberg order, or big orders within the market, can act in your favor or can push price in the opposite direction completely. It is not, it doesn't give you informational advantage, because if it did, then you wouldn't have access to that information. I can guarantee that to you, my brother. No retail trader would have access to that informational advantage. Impossible. Or it would cost you like 10K per month, or like 5 at least. Moss, should I enter this trade with you? Only if you don't mind losing 2K. If you mind losing $2,000, don't enter. I think the tournaments are gonna be like once or twice per year. I would say twice. CPI tomorrow, yeah. There's this CPI tomorrow. The last 4 to 5 CPIs were the worst CPIs I've ever seen in my life. Especially the last one. It moved less than a normal 1 minute bar at 7 AM. Literally. It's pretty crazy. So, what is the indicator you use? Is it the power of 3 or something like that? Yeah, it is called ICT HTF candles. So I'll click it right there. ICT HTF candles by Fadi. Hamas, what happened with your long yesterday? Look at the chart. I longed from, just look at the time here. I longed at 6 PM yesterday. Took out my profits here at 7.54. So I ended up winning. And even the gold long ended up winning too. So the gold longs were here. I think I still have that. Yeah. So the gold longs, 7 PM. Did I take them? No, I was in the NQ long. So are those different than the PO3 candles? I think they're slightly better because they give you the timing of the hour, the candle that you're looking at. So let's say here it's a 4 hour, and it also gives you the time before it closes. So those are two very important information. I know those timings by heart, so it doesn't truly matter for me, because I can just go on the 4 and see my framework being applied or not, or the hourly, the 15. But it's more useful for you guys to follow, because you know that when I'm in this trade, I look at a 4 hour candle here. You can see it right there, and the amount of time left for that candle to close. You're in with me? Let's go. Let's go. Spurs in 6. Wait, is it 2-1? Spurs. Spurs won last night. Sheesh. It might be Spurs in 6. Might. When's the next game? Tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Okay. I mean, I'm a huge basketball fan, but I'm not a fan of any of those teams. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I might watch like an important game. And I'm kind of tired of watching sports in general. Like I watched every single Montreal Canadian hockey game within this season, literally, and the playoffs. So like I'm done. Bro, the amount of times I was hanging out with my friends just to watch a Montreal Canadiens game is crazy. Like I'm kind of tired. I need a break from TV. Yeah, World Cup though is different. The World Cup's different though. I won't lie, the World Cup is, we're gonna have some money on a lot of games. Because soccer is my favorite sport, so it's different. Yeah, I love soccer. Who do you think is gonna win it, Tony? Okay. Nice. This year, I would want to see Portugal win. I don't think they will do it. You know, I don't think they have the team for it. There's so many good teams. I even think Morocco is better than them. But I will say that I would want Ronaldo to win. Even as a Messi fan, I would just want Ronaldo to win the World Cup this year. Even if he's washed, even if he's 41 years old, 6 kids, billionaire, you know, still want to see him win just for the story, just for the storyline. Oh yeah, shit. 5th best odds. England and Brazil. England is not gonna do well this year. Sorry, Vinny, if you're watching. Love you, but England. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like England in general. Their fans are so crazy too. Your channel is very helpful. Thanks. Please keep dropping daily information. Yeah, I got you, brother. Appreciate you. Amos, you got a DCA buy limit, by the way, not a stop loss yet. I know. It is I definitely know that it's a DCA right there. We're going to short. Alright, let's fight. Let's have some beef Mexican. I don't know who did short yesterday too, but you know. I might even add one more at 65. That is gonna be like the full on position. Yesterday's size was so much more than I thought. Even I entered 5 micros, but holy, 5 micros was moving. Who do you got for the World Cup, guys? I'm also, are you a Warriors fan? Absolutely. I'm not a fan of any like sports team, but like my home country, or you know, I don't know. Let's say Montreal Canadiens, I'll root for them, or Algeria, I'll root for them. You know, because I'm born there. But in terms of like general teams, I am just hopping on teams depending on if I like a player or not. So like for me, I like Stephen Curry, so you know I love the Warriors. You know, so I'm a Warriors fan. Especially while they were very good, I was a Warriors fan. But I would want. I like Brazil, but like I said, I really loved Brazil for Neymar, and now he's washed, and he's like a poker player, so you know, it's over. I really like watching someone who's good, who has talent that you don't see too often. That's like my kind of when I when I watch TV, like I'll watch a game like this, I want to see someone who's like talented. I hate just watching like a team like playing with a system and like being so strict, which I know this is what wins games, but this is not entertaining. You know, soccer is boring to me. I totally get that. It is absolutely boring. Coming from a soccer player, coming from, you know, someone who's going to watch every single World Cup game, it could be very boring. It's only not boring when it's like the game has some weight, you know. Let's say Champions League final. That's the only game I've watched this whole year. I swear to God, I didn't watch any other games but the Champions League final. So if the game is like worth watching, I'll watch it. If not, forget about it. Do you think we're trending up overnight again? Yeah, that's why I'm in the long. I think we're not trending overnight. I think the next stop is this high. I think the next stop is around 20 to 60. What's your full position size? It will be like the hell. Yeah, it will be 2 to 3 micros. 2 to 3 micros. It is pretty, you know, it's pretty light. It's pretty light within this range. You know, don't be scared of that pullback here. As soon as it pops right back up from a spike, you guys will be like, "Oh my god, you're best trader in the world." As soon as I'm in drawdown, it's like, wait, you gotta work on your entry, brother. Let's see the chat here. It has to say, football is way better than any sport. Oh, what's up, Jerry? How are you doing, brother? Football meaning American football or soccer? Because here in America, we call this soccer, my brother. So you gotta call this soccer. What's up, Jerry, brother? How you doing? Exactly, like Kyrie Irving in basketball. You're exactly the same as me, Mr. Cito. Exactly the same. It's like, I'll give you an example. In my favorite player in American football was Tyreek Hill. Why? He runs as fast as a track professional. As you know, he runs as fast as people going in the Olympics for a 100-meter dash. That is someone I love to watch because as soon as he has the ball, he is unpredictable and he has so much potential for a highlight. But when the player is boring or like he's like big, tall, fat, sorry, I'm all right. Andrick is the name of Brazil. Don't make me laugh, brother. Don't make me laugh. Andrick. They shipped him to France. There isn't a lot of players like Neymar no more except Shirky. Yeah, Shirky. Imagine when I was 16, I went to France, and he's exactly my age. I went to France for a soccer tournament, and we went and visited the old team Shirky was playing for, which was Olympique Lyonnais, and so from France. And then they were literally, I think we were 15 at the time, not even 16. We were 15, and they were saying like, this guy's a prodigy. He's currently playing with a 21 years old pro team. He's 15, and that guy's like, he has Messi's talent. This is what they were saying to us when I was 15. I swear to God. And now just seeing him in Manchester City is like, holy shit. He was actually him. What a shitty trade Unusable entry. Don't even do it live anymore. It's hunting traders with this giant stop. I'm in 1 micro, brother. I'm in 1 micro, and don't make me go in my payout dashboard on Tradeify, please. Moss, is there a delay? Is there? Brett, my brother. How you doing, my brother? You gotta hop in, Brett. Brett, my brother. Thank you, William. Yo, chat. You know William is literally every day in the chat. He's telling me something that I say incorrectly in English. He's like, what was I saying yesterday that he was like, no, you shouldn't say that. I think it was strongness. It was like, don't use the word strongness, use the word strength. And I was like, please tell me that the word strongness is a real word, because sometimes I just assume it's a real word because I'm French, you know. So like sometimes I just gamble the fact that the word is literally the same. And sometimes it ends up not even being a word. I think I'm pretty good though. I got better, but you know, sometimes it's there's some words here and there that need work. But I appreciate you for that. Appreciate you for the spelling lessons, William. William, my brother. All the correct people I love. Thank you. I thought trading was the best sport. I think my trading is so boring. It can't be entertaining right now. It's like if I did not even have that DCA right there. Holy shit. So I'm gonna enter another contract right here at 73. My average is gonna be brought up to like 21. I entered very light on this trade. So yeah. Yeah, I took a short this morning on ES. I did take a short. It was a beautiful short. I always follow the trend and always follow the opening price of the 9 a.m. 1 hour candle and the 10 a.m. 1 hour candle. Let me see this dashboard. You really want to see it? Do you? It's very rare I have haters. Very rare. There is a delay on the stream, 15 to 20 seconds. Is there? Wait, let me see. Let me refresh it. The trader makes it entertaining. Your streams are entertaining. I appreciate you, brother. It's all because of you guys talking in the chat. That's how we get the conversation going, you know? You guys asking me questions is like the biggest factor of me yapping. I wouldn't be able to yap this much if it wasn't for you guys, so. Ban the haters. It only affects you when the thing is real. You know? It only affects you when what they say is real. It's like you can't tell a model, let's say you now let me give you a better example. You can't tell Jeff Bezos that he's poor because he's gonna laugh at you. It's not real, you know. What the heck is going on with this drawdown? I'm in 1 micro, brother. Please. Was Can you explain the idea behind the trade? Yeah, absolutely. So oh shit, for some reason I clicked on something, but yeah, so 4 hour chart, my thesis on the market is I look at candles closing, the strongness of them, and I try to predict the next bar on the same chart. Okay, so here, just purely looking at this 4-hour chart, this candle right here, the last 4-hour candle closed bullish, showing me that the buyers are the one in control. I do not want to fade this because I see those bodies as being walls where buyers will defend their positions in order to create new highs. Good. Second thing, what is above me? What happened? What is the context within this chart? We're sweeping the AM low here, the previous daily low, and also I would say monthly lows. What is it? Not monthly lows, weekly lows into a gap, which is very important. And if I scale to this 4-hour chart, we have an unfilled gap right above me. That gap is telling me that sellers were way too aggressive within the last 12 hours, that buyers did not get a fair exchange. So now I judge that we have more chances of printing a bullish candle back towards this gap than actually printing a bearish bar that will close back here within the 700, so below this low. So I try to be on side by adding to my position on a better entry, which is more discounted. I really wanted to see the push from the first hourly candle, which we're not getting right now. There is still 10 minutes left, so 8 minutes left for that hourly candle to close. A lot of things could be different in, you know, a span of 30 minutes. So still staying patient within this trade. There's a reason why I did not enter one mini and I only entered one micro. Okay. So that's the whole reasoning behind why I'm in. So let me see here. Amos. Don't bait me like that, brother. Oh my god. What if you see an inside candle? I mean, it's lower probability than a candle that swept the low and closed back within the range, of course, because we could use this low as a way to trap sellers into thinking that price is going to go down and then wick back to the upside. So use this low as liquidity. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I just like the overall thesis of longs here. It could retrace deeper within that range though, 100%. That's why I could be in total 3 micros back at 03. The trade will be like around $2,000. Around this. I don't understand haters within the trading community. It's just jealousy. Yeah, I mean, you're always gonna see hate. I think if you don't have haters, you're not doing. You're not doing you know, your best. There's always gonna be people hating on the way that you trade, your risk to reward, your risk management, your approach in general, your overall hypothesis on this market, the way that you talk, the way that you look, you know. But doesn't truly matter. Because you know, hate never comes from someone doing better than you. It's always this. Like, let's say someone who's doing amazing in his life, he's never gonna look down on someone, you know. There are no haters, but people frustrated. Yeah, I agree. The thing is, though, with the trading community, it's not just the toxicity. I would say it's just people want traders to be transparent with their wins and losses, but then when they are, then they get shitted on basically for that. They get so much hate from showing a loss that it doesn't even want to make people show a loss in the first place, you know, which is pretty hard. No, there's no haters. There's like one. There's like one. Really. Yeah, it is. It is definitely normal for people to be in their feelings when money's involved. I agree. I agree so much. That is a true statement. Amos is so good, even his haters tune in on time. Oh shit. So how do you explain all the unfilled gaps from the market up move over the last 2 months? So how do you explain all the unfilled gaps from the market up move over the last 2 months? Okay, that's a good question. I only see a gap having the potential of being filled once it gets created and the last candle that creates that gap closes back within the range of the second one. I'll give you an example. Here. Okay, you see this candle? We created a gap. Right there. Okay. This candle right here. So a gap is formed by 3 candles. This is the first, this is the second right there, and this is the third. When this third candle closes back inside the range of the second one, then I expect that responsive sellers stepped in, and we have more chances of seeing the gap than the internal high, depending on the structure formed within that third candle. That I expect the gap to get tapped into. If this third candle creates a gap but closed above this high right there, for me, we don't even need to revisit that fair value gap. We don't even need to, because buyers are still strong. I would see them defend their positions in order to create new highs within the market. You know, that's my thesis on it. So in general, once I see it's not every gap, as soon as we form a gap, that I will try to trade back into it. It needs, you know, let's say this one, it was kind of clean for me, you know. This third candle created the gap. We have an unfill right below us. I'll trade from here to there. That's on the daily chart, you see. But there will be instances where the gaps will not get filled, and you will take a loss because your framework got disregarded. But so be it. Let's say another daily representation of what's going to happen. Swept the high, closed back within the range, and this is the third candle that created the gap. So within 3 days, price was so aggressive that buyers and sellers did not get a fair exchange. Buyers were so aggressive. They're way too aggressive. So this area has low volume for me. What do? The 1 hour chart is the one that I look at if I have a daily target. So this is my daily target, this gap. Okay. So then I scale down to an hourly chart and I try to position myself as a seller, and I try to be right on my overall thesis. So here, this is the hourly chart, and I'm trying to target this low. I will enter right there with a wide stop loss. Even if you hate it, or even if you don't enjoy the way that I trade, I will go for a 1-to-1 with that big ass stop of 130 points, and look at what's going to happen. We open up higher, and then we eventually hit my target, But if I try to be too picky and, enter above that high, the amount of times that price will dip from this level all the way to here without you is going to cost you a lot of money, because I believe that B setups are very good cash flow trades that will eventually, cover the losses from those A plus setups. Is there even A plus setups in the futures market on NQ? Is there really something we can call an A plus setup that has like 90% chance of actually working? I highly doubt that. So we're gonna do a giveaway, guys. Let's do 250 likes for the first giveaway. 150k select account. Let's do that. Let's do that. What is the difference between micros and minis? Good question. You look at price. Okay, so here you see price. It goes from 29. Let's say it goes from 29.19 to 29.20. Okay, which is 1 point, one handle. And on NQ futures, so the mini contract, every variation of one handle, so 1 point, equals $20. Okay, $20. But with one micro, it's divided by 10. So every $1 move, so like 1 point move, is $2. You see? So it's divided by 10. So this is like when you see, like, when am I going to trade micros, really? That's really the question. The volume traded throughout the day, or I would say the aggressiveness, depending on every morning, it's going to be very different. The size of those 1 minute bars sometimes will be 60 handles, sometimes it will be 20, sometimes it will be 15. But you need to know the amount of money that you want to risk per trade, and then make the the maths behind them. And if you need to trade minis or micros, let's say for me, I want to trade, I want to take a trade for $1,000 of risk. Okay, and let's say I entered here, and I know I have a 1-to-1 because that's my approach. But you need to know where your stop loss is at in the first place so you can make those counts. But let's say here my take profit would be 200 points, and let's say my stop loss would be 200 points too. Okay, let's say that would be it. So here I will right click below price, put my limit order right there, and drag the stop loss. And with 1 micro, I'm risking 400. So then I know I need to risk between 2 to 3 in order to make 1,000, make it 1,000. So then right here, I'm risking a little bit more than 1,000, but it's 3 micros, and I'm in a good position for a 1-to-1. That's how I calculate my risk. I always do it on TradingView, even if I'm trading with Tradeify. This is one of the best tools. Dragging the TP and stop loss is the best thing by far. But now I have no stop loss because I want to DCA within that trade. All right. If it goes up from now, it's good. I'm just gonna make what, like, how much am I gonna make if it pushes from now? I can also calculate how much I'm gonna make 400. It's good for me. Why? Because it is, I don't see that entry as being the best possible entry. We are still in premium of that range. Okay, this is a starter position. A starter position because that 4-hour candle closed strong. So for me, we have still a lot of chances of bouncing from that level. So if I win, I make 400. But if it retraces deeper, then I have a better entry. Then I'm going to be entering full size. That's usually what I do. Do you copy trade? Yeah, I do definitely copy trade. I copy trade live accounts. By the way, with the payout that I requested today, I requested $1,350 from my Tradeify live account. That puts me at exactly $10,000 requested in the last 36 days from my live account. So very happy, very, very happy. In the first place, I really wanted to like make $200 days, but then ended up upping the risk a little bit. So you know, every time I win, I request a payout. That's what I do. That's literally what I do. Moss, I admire your confidence in your entries despite some people hating on you. Don't worry about it, bro. You are mature enough to handle it. There was literally one hater. Sometimes I just like the beef. I just like the beef. You know? But what happened many times in those last 2 months, including hours, 4 hours on those moves? It's a framework, meaning that a framework is a reasoning that works above, for me, with my approach, that works above 65% of the time. A reasoning behind why price moves from A to B that works around 65% of the time and more. That's it. It is not going to work every time. It's not something that is 100% win rate. It is a way to view the market, you know. 2 seconds. All right, I'm back. All right. All right, so we need, how many likes do we have? 179. I said 250. All right, 250 likes. We're doing a 150k select account giveaway. All right. All right, let me see some more comments here. What setup are you waiting for? I'm waiting for the 4-hour fair value gap to get filled, so I'm longing back towards there. You trade accordingly to your model, technical and emotional. People just try. Yeah, I trade accordingly to my model. Absolutely. How can you join the giveaway? Make sure to smash that thumbs up right there. And once we have 250 likes, then we're gonna do a good old closing the eyes and going back to the upside on the comment section, because we still don't have the bob, but we're working on it. Okay, should be this week. All right. Moss, for real, since I have been following you on the Asia session, my account is on fire. Love your style of trading. I feel a lot calmer than my New York Open scalps. Let's go. Happy to hear that, brother. That makes me smile. You know, it doesn't take a lot of things to make me smile. Smile the smallest thing, but that still makes me smile. Appreciate you, my brother. What's up, Johnny? How you doing? Took 1.4k in payout today. Need 2R to request another 4.5 on 3 different accounts. Let's go. Congrats, brother. You actually deserve it so much. Habibi's is a member of the community that backtests until his eyes are bleeding, literally, and he dreams of candles. So you deserve it, brother. That is just the universe giving back what you deserve. That is honest work, and I respect that. Can you explain your trade? Yes. So 4-hour candle closed bullish, showing me that the buyers are the one controlling the market. Simple as this. We reject lows, break highs. We have an unfilled 4-hour fair value gap right above us. In my opinion, once this candle closes, we have more chances of printing a bullish 4-hour candle than a bearish 4-hour candle. So here, I'm positioning myself as a buyer when price digs below the opening price of that candle, because of the current candle that is printing right at the daily open. Why? Because everything that is below the open of the current candle that I'm trying to trade is a discounted entry for me. So currently looking for longs. I don't know how much time it's going to take before it actually hits my take profit, but really like this trade and willing to let it ride. Thing is, here, once it pops above 99, I think we have some room, man. We have some room to go to the upside. We do. Definitely do. Do you only go live on Tradeify YouTube? Yeah. I also go live in the morning. I trade my live account there with us, with my private community. Do you trade every Asia session from Monday to Friday? Yes. Absolutely. So it's from Sunday to Thursday. Do you trade live on your Pockets Full trading Discord? Yeah, I do. From 10:20 to 10:50. Where are you from, brother? I can't put a finger on your accent. Don't spoil. Just give me your thoughts. Where do you think I'm from? And how big is my accent though? I really want to know. If you listen to me speak, like, do you know exactly that I'm from somewhere else? That will tell me if I need to make some efforts regarding my accent and how I speak. I don't think I can change. I think a lot of it is already cooked for me. I think a lot of the wording that that I'm doing is it's over. What type of accounts did you get transitioned live from? I got transitioned live from 150k select accounts. So 550k select accounts. So I currently have the Elite Live program, which gives you bonuses. So let's say I make $4,500 in with one account in 1 month, and I'm already past the buffer threshold. Then Tradeify is matching it up as a bonus. So they give me $4,500 as a bonus on each account. So it's kind of crazy. I just need to get past that buffer though, which I am not. Miles, do you recommend the Tradeify Select Daily Payout? They're great. I think they are absolutely great. My favorite are the Flex though. My favorite for my style on the Select side, it's the Flex. But all time favorite is the Lightning funded accounts, because I value a lot the opportunity cost of trading an evaluation, and you don't have that when you trade with a Lightning funded account. You're immediately on the road to get your first payout, so you don't have to deal with 2 months of let's say depending on how aggressive you are during the eval. It's like, for me, I'll give you my my honest opinion about it. It's like they are great accounts, and especially accounts that have no ceiling in terms of how much you can make throughout the day. Once you build that initial buffer, it's literally a live account. It becomes a live account at that point. The thing is, for my style, since I trade with such a low risk to reward, it's kind of better for me to go with the Lightning funded accounts, because the winning streaks are so important with my strategy. So if I miss a winning streak of like a week or two, then it's gonna screw up all my data, and it's gonna screw up like the pace that I should get payouts with. So what I like to do, or what I was doing when I was trading sim before getting put into a live account, was I was trading 150k Lightning funded accounts, and on the side I was trying to pass 150k select accounts. And once I would pass them, then I would try to go aggressive with my Lightning, and then activate my selects, which is exactly what happened when I activated the selects. I had Lightning funded accounts, blew them, went to selects, got 4 back-to-back payouts, and got thrown into a live account. So it was but I had an amazing, actually, like, being completely honest, an amazing experience so far with a live account. Requesting my payout, getting paid daily. I actually have a lot of freedom also to trade my setups, trade the size that I want. It's great. But I wouldn't be so disciplined if it wasn't for the sim rules. Don't take those rules as as like, okay, they're restricting me from taking big trades. Actually, it doesn't really make sense to make 100% of your account in 1 day, truly, because you're taking risks that don't really make sense for the long-term profitability of your edge or your system in general. So let me guess, Algerian, but I hear a little Canadian in your accent. All right, someone just DM'd you the answer, because that was way too accurate. Algerian is like, there's no Algerians in the States, no? Or am I tripping? How can there be Algerians in the States? So I'm gonna put another limit order right here. You seem Hispanic. You have a big mustache. Imagine. Are you from Algeria living in Canada? Yeah, literally. I'm new here. What strategy do you use? I use a strategy called the unfilled fair value gap model. I wait for a gap to get created and try to scalp the move back towards that gap instead of using the gap as an area of entry. How many days do you go live? I go live literally every day. Monday to Friday. But on Asia, so far it's from Monday to Thursday. Hamas, I see you got eliminated out of the Grand Cup in round 1. What changes, if any, do you plan on making your strategy trading style in the next tournament? Alright, I got called out. Alright. For me, I'm gonna pull that card right now. You know, I am a trader that trades with a 1-2 unders where it takes 1 to 2 trades maximum in a day. My playstyle will not get me far in those tournaments because usually the kind of people that tend to do well within those tournaments are people that are trading higher risk to reward systems. And when you have a higher risk to reward, then you can make a lot more money within a short span. And that is not what I value. I value consistency and mental health. That is really what I value. So I would rather go for something that is way more consistent, making me less, but I am certain of getting every month. I literally treat trading exactly like a 9 to 5. You know, which some people would say like, you know, just go get a 9 to 5. You don't have to to make 5 winning days. I saw I saw that meme. It was actually funny. But you know, I treat it exactly like this. I treat it like a serious job where, okay, I'm trying to scalp my move and I'm out. And I'm doing that consistently every day. Take my wins, take my losses, roll with them. But it's like super boring and super slow paced. But I risk a lot per trade though in order to make up for that lower reward. But overall, in those competitions, if I don't have a daily move, if I don't see like a daily candle that I have a lot of confidence in hitting its target, then it might be over for me on that day. You know, I might lose. Because it's not my play style. It's not how I view the market. So I will potentially never do that well in those kind of tournaments. You know, it's like, I don't know. It's like you telling an NBA player, why aren't you winning a 1v1 tournament against all the other basketball players if you're a pro? It's like everyone has their strengths and weakness. You know, there's someone who could play a certain role so well, but he's more of a, you know, someone who just gonna put a basket and he doesn't have that amount of skill to, you know, drive and have all those handles basically. And it's literally the same thing with trading. It's like some people are way more skilled than me in terms of, okay, catching daily ranges and holding their trades for longer. Can I do that? No. Will I try to do that? No. Yeah. wish I had more patience like you. Who would consider themselves being like super impatient and like their worst trait? Because like, why are you not patient for your setup? Is it because you don't have a setup in the first place, or you want to feel like a trader, so you need to act on that fact? I want to know more. Like, what makes someone? How do you feel impatient in general? Yeah, exact. That is so true. That just proves you don't need to be the best slash top trader to still be profitable. One of the best comments I think I've ever seen with my eyes right here. Why? Let's compare trading to a professional sport. Let's say you want to be a boxer because it's an individual sport, and trading is an individual endeavor. In order for you to make $100,000 boxing in a year, you need to be so good. You need to be better than other people. Like, one-on-one fight, you need to beat them, get the best out of them. And especially when you get into like the best of the best, it's like if you really want to get paid, you have to be the best. In trading, it's not true. You could have a system that is not going to make you the best. It is literally for sure certain that you're not going to be the best. But you're going to be consistent with it, and you're going to be able to stay grateful within that system in general, no matter the conditions. You will still make more at the end of the year. You will still end up making more than someone who try to go pro at a sport, because you don't need to be the best. You actually don't need to be the best in order to make a living out of it. It's not like a player versus player where you get paid for being better than someone else, especially with prop firms. It's like, if you truly see the business side of it compared to, it's like, if you see the business side of it and like, okay, I'm investing that much. If I lose the account, it's all good. I make 10, 15x my initial investment on every time I request a payout. It gets easier on the mind, and you understand that you're so much closer than you thought in the first place to be profitable. But that was a very good comment. Very, very good comment. You sound more like a librarian than an outlaw. That was tough. Good comment. I am very impulsive. I would say I FOMO. Impulsive personality, okay. You just took this trade because? Laughing emoji? Yeah. I just did. Could you please take a look at gold? Yeah, we'll take a look at good. Let me just see some more greed and adrenaline rush. Okay. Greed and adrenaline rush. I mean, we're all different. We're all so different, wired differently, carry different traumas. It's like, it's impossible to judge someone for his actions currently, because if you were him, you would have potentially done the same thing. You know? Not really understanding about the process, yeah. Moss, did you win the trade from yesterday on Asia? Yes, I did. I did, but ended up hitting the target at 9:44 a.m. Where is your stop on this trade? I'm gonna dollar cost average within this trade, meaning that I'm gonna enter heavier once price comes down. So once I'm in my second contract, this is the moment where I'll put my stop loss. So it will be the average of those two positions. So 76 and the other entry is 72. So around this area, so around like 18 to 20 will be like the average. I would say even like 25. Yeah, 25 is the average, exactly. So oh, yeah, let's do the giveaway. 100%. 266 likes. Okay, the next like goal will be 375 likes. Okay, and I'm gonna give away. Right now we're giving away 150k select account. Okay, so the next like goal is 350. I said, yeah, 350. Did I say 350? Yeah, 350. Let's do 350. Let's do 350 for the next like goal. So type the word. You can type the word gap. I'm gonna close my eyes. I'll scroll up and I have 1 second to tell someone's name, and then we're gonna roll with the second giveaway at 350. All right. So within the next 30 seconds, I would say I will choose a winner. Still didn't order food. I might be cooked, chat. I might eat at like 10 p.m. Oh shit. I forgot we were doing a giveaway. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Andres Flores. Andres Flores, congrats, brother. You won a 150k select account. We are already at 300 likes, so just push it a little bit more, 350, and we're doing another giveaway. Okay, so Andres Flores, type in the chat. Make sure to have your email within your YouTube description, and we're gonna send you the account like that. But congrats, brother. Oh my god. And people in the chat are so funny, I swear. Like the type of funny that makes me laugh, but can't be said out loud. Damn, someone asked the deepest question I've seen in a while. If you could go back to your earlier self and tell yourself 3 things after you found a profitable strategy about mastering psychology, what would they be? Damn. If I could go back after I found a strategy. Okay. After I found a strategy, if I could go back, I would tell my old self that it's never better on the other side. Meaning that you're never gonna have the perfect statistics. You're never gonna be exactly perfect, and taking all the winning setups and dodging all the unnecessary losses. You will make mistakes, but keep in mind that the strategy that you have is good, and if you change it, there's a whole learning curve behind the other one, and it will just slow out your progress, and will make you build unnecessary trauma that will carry over within the next few months or years if you act in that impulse of trying to search for something better and something with a higher risk to reward, better win rate, this and that. Okay, that is my first answer. First answer is it's not better on the other side. No matter what you pick, stick with it. If you know it's profitable, adapt instead of just switching over. And I always say it's the same thing with relationships, and I truly believe in the power of that. It's like, no matter, let's say you have a partner. Let's say I found my wife, and everyone has their strength and their weakness, and you can't just start saying, okay, I'm gonna switch partner, I deserve better, I do this and that, just because they're doing something that you dislike. You just work with it. It's the same thing, because if you go and switch partners, then you're gonna see there's a whole learning curve to that, and at the end of the day, it's gonna end up being the same. It's literally the same thing with relationships. So the first one is definitely don't switch strategies if you have the data on it, and that is something I think I did so much. But I wouldn't say don't do it, because you still need to do it in order to know the value of the current strategy that you have. Damn. Oh, Brett was there. How are you doing, brother? Brett, my brother, here for the deep talks. He asked me a very, very, very deep question. But that would be the first. Second, that's such a good question. Makes me think. What can I tell my old self after finding a strategy? Okay, I'll tell you another thing that is pretty different to most people's answer. When I found my strategy, I struggled with something called, like, I really struggled with losses in general, because I'm someone who's a perfectionist, meaning that I really want to put my setup to, go from a 65% win rate all the way to a 74 or an 80% win rate. But if you chase a higher and higher win rate every time, you will understand that you chase a lower and lower risk to reward. And a good system is a broken system, a system that loses but survives every market condition. So something that happened within I think my second year of trading was I found my strategy, and what happened was that I was still not satisfied. I was having, let's say, 4 to 5 hour months, which is, I was making like 2 to 3K per month, and I was still not satisfied because I was losing too much, in my opinion. I really thought you could be flawless and, win throughout the whole month. And then what I was doing was I was going back and back this, and I was always searching for something, a new rule to add to my system, a new risk management parameter, a way to enter more aggressively, this and that. And that led me to, yes, finding the same strategy. Let's say this is my strategy. This led me to find a strategy with more conditions, but that had a higher win rate. But what happened was that my risk to reward was lower. So let's say instead of having like a 1-to-1, I had like a 0.7. And I also had less trades. Okay, so let's say I had like 120 trades per year. Trades per year. Okay, and then I was still not satisfied with a 65% win rate strategy with a 1-to-1 risk to reward, but that had 300 trades in a year, or like 250. Which, if you make the count, if you make the stats behind them, this strategy, for the same amount of risk per trade, demolishes this one, even if it has a higher win rate. So one thing I would also say to myself is, a good system is a broken system, a system that loses, but that also survives market conditions in a very good way. Okay, that is also that is something I think I encountered a lot throughout my journey, even after finding my strategy, because once you start losing or start facing difficult market conditions, you're still you still want to adapt, you still want to, you know, be better in general. So that was like a pretty big mistake I was making, for sure. And I think a lot of people will it will resonate with a lot of people who are the same as me, you know, just trying to be better. But at a certain point, I'm telling you, you're literally shooting yourself in the foot. Every little condition that you add could make you less profitable. And the third down, it took me like an hour to find the first two. Shit. And third, just be grateful. Be grateful, because you're never going to be satisfied. But if you stay grateful, you can live in the present moment and truly recognize how much you grew from the last few years, and that would be it. Can you explain why you drew the 4-hour fair value gap where you did? It shouldn't be at the most recent 4-hour candle high. Yeah, it is right there. I don't know why I drew it that way. I think it was my take profit was a little bit higher. Sometimes I do this. I like to put my take profit a little bit higher and gauge the reaction from this level, because sometimes it will use this high as stops in order to run higher and fill 50% of that gap immediately. So this is also something I look for, is the reaction once we sweep that high. If it starts wicking or it's slow, I'll immediately take profits. But if it starts bursting through it, that's good. Easy, long or short? I'm long. Did you feel like giving up during your first year? Say with losses. What made you stay? What made me stay was prop firms. Literally. I never truly thought I would be able to build a system that could beat the market, coming from someone who had a background, like who went to university, and like all the information that is thrown at you is that the market is extremely efficient and there is no chance for you to have predictive value over it. But then, so like I always knew that with the return on investment of a prop firm account, or in prop firms in general, with prop firms in general, that I could be profitable even without beating the market, even without having a system that truly generates a positive expected value, like that you truly make money. Because you don't need to make money, you need to be a great risk manager, and you need to treat it as a business. Know how much you risk, how much you invest in those accounts per month, what account are you buying, what accounts are the best for your, you know, the type of trader that you are. So that was really what got me pushing. I swear, it was the ROI of prop firms, 100%. We're at 325. We need 25 more likes, and we can do the other giveaway. Time is flying. Damn. Do you have a video about that? Yeah. There's like 3 or 4 videos on it on the Tradeify TV's YouTube channel, and there's like every single one of my YouTube videos are talking about this. You mentioned how you kept trying to find something better. What other thing that you stopped? What other thing that you stopped doing to be better instead of adding more things to chase perfectionism? That's a very good question. Extremely good question. What did I do instead of adding rules to make me a better trader in general with what I had? Was pushing my understanding of the business model to a point where I would make my system work better with the current parameters that it actually had. So meaning, okay, what are the best accounts for me? What is the best account size for me? How many accounts should I trade? Should I split my accounts into 2 sets and trade 2 different strategies that I have within my playbook? And when I started to dig within this and truly gave a bigger eye to the business aspect of it rather than just being purely focused on technicals and having a better win rate, that changed it. That's my best answer. It seems like it will test previous day's value area low. Might. What the hell is that comment? You said your mother is trader. Learn you right. What the fuck is that? This kind of comments make me laugh, bro. It's like it's so random. So like you just read it, you're like, what in the hell are you talking about? It was funny. 9 more likes. Come on, chat. We got this. 9 more likes and we do the giveaway. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, the business model as a whole, yeah, not just one trade for sure. How long have you been less concerned about exact entry point and more just getting in for the direction? Good question. Since my whole framework, my whole analysis, my whole flow as a trader has always been that way. I've always traded with a 0.8 risk to reward / 1-to-1. So like I've always been that guy who tried to be on side rather than try to top and bottom take the market, which served me in the best way possible, clearly. So like since year 1, a lot of that comes down to a lot of that comes down to like me being so focused on building a strategy based on prop firms in the first place, because that's what kept me going. So yeah, I would say from year 1 that I've had the same strategy from year 1. All right, the giveaway, we can do the giveaway now. 360. All right, let's do that. So the word will be king. I don't know why the word is king, but you can spam king in the chat. All right. In 15 seconds, I'm going to do it. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Brian Para Navarro 8304. Brian Para Navarro. That's a tough name. That's a tough name. That is very tough. Congrats. Make sure to type right now so we know you're here, and make sure to have your email within your YouTube description because you don't have it. I can see Brian Para Navarro. You guys just say Brian. Is this how you call Brian? I thought it was like a Y. Can you say Brian like this? If it's like if his name is Brian, I really look like a dumbass right now. Well, I'll take it though. It's alright. I don't think Brian can be written like this, no? Am I tripping? If your name is Brian with an I, let me know in the chat. Okay, next light goal. Okay, so there's Brian with an I and Brian with a Y. Oh yeah. You know why? Brian is not a French name. Like I don't even know one person named Brian. It's such an English name. Like a an American name. Brian. I think because I saw I saw the things after, so like his last name, and it was so like Spanish that I was like Brian Navarro, you know. All right, you guys can stop making fun of me. All right. Yeah, both the normal. All right, okay. I know my lesson now. Brian with an I. That's good. I was like, Brian para Navarro, 8304. Sí, sí. Type shit. Type shit. Oh shit. Alright, now I know something. Amos, you need to up your giveaway game, bro. Have a wheel or something, please. We're gonna do it, Tris. We're gonna do it. Yeah, we're working on that. Well, you speak Spanish? I know a little bit. Of course, I know a little bit. I learned that in school. I had like, I went to Spain. I went to Spain at like what, 14 years old, for like a full month, where we studied Spanish for a full month. I was actually not bad. Spanish is very close to French. I can say like the basic things, Hola, ¿cómo está? ¿Cuántos años tienes? Me llamo. ¿Es me llamo o me llamo Amas. Tengo 22 años. 22 años. Te gusto. Puedo ir al baño, por favor. That's what I was always saying to my teacher. I was always asking him if I could go to the bathroom to play Clash of Clans on my phone. Hey, how you doing, Liv? First time in Asia? We are absolutely vibing for sure. We just need that trade to pump and the hourly bar to close back within the range, but it's a pretty tight range here. Of course, 120 points, but we entered for the 4-hour gap fill, which is boring for some people, but Boring's a good thing. All right, boring's a good thing. French is not easy. It is very hard. It is very hard. I would have better grades in English. You know, I would make more spelling mistakes in French than in English. Even when I was like pretty mid in English too. I like it when you do the number, where you guess the number. Bro, there's like freaking 600 people in the chat. If we do this, like there's gonna be 5 people with the same number. And then, brother, the support is gonna the support is gonna be mad at me. All right. Any places in Algeria you would recommend for a holiday? I won't lie, it's I think you cannot even go there. It's like not even, they don't even accept tourists like that. You need a visa to go there. It's like I was born there so I can go, but I don't think it's like a normal. I don't think it's a normal thing to go there. I think like not a lot of people go there. And like you need to do like paperwork and stuff, like go back and forth to their office and yeah, go to Morocco, bro. Morocco's open. Like it doesn't like if you take a look at this trade in terms of a 1 minute perspective, of course the trade will be absolutely awful. It will, 100%. But I'm not taking this trade off of the 1 minute chart, nor the 15, nor the 5. I'm taking it off of the 4 hour. So it's a completely different point of view here, you know? Targets are bigger, stop loss are wider. Timing is super different also. It's like yesterday we were sitting in drawdown for like 2 hours and 30 minutes and the trade was a winner, you know? Ended up winning. What is the language in Algeria? It's either Arabic or another one that I speak, which is called Amazigh, which is this sign. It's like the native people there, like the first native people that were there basically before getting invaded by the Turkish and all of those. I think if you have a US passport, you can just go to Morocco immediately. So like I don't even speak Arabic. I don't. But the culture is the same. Culture is the same. Does unfilled for value gap work on any time frame? The higher the time frame, the more valuable the candlestick pattern becomes. I truly believe in that. Second, I would say anything below a 15-minute is going to start having a lot of fake outs. And let's say you take a 5-minute unfilled gap. Of course, like I could go today and take a look at the action, and there's going to be multiple 5-minute gaps that you could have caught, you know, for the unfilled. Okay, let's say there's going to be one literally every single day. This one could have caught along from here all the way to this gap. Another unfilled you could have caught right there 2 times, literally on the drops. Create a gap. Third candle fails to close back, fails to close below the second candle's low, so closes back within the range. next target would be the gap rather than the slow, okay, within the first print that closes. Same thing here, create a gap, third candle fails to close below the second candle's low, closes back within the range. What's your target? This gap. Same thing here, we create a gap, unfilled on the 5. What's happening? We open on the new candle, tap the gap, dip, but we still had more chance of seeing that gap rather than that high. A lot of opportunities throughout the day. Again, here, there's like 4 or 5 that worked today. I think 5, no, 6. So here, another one. Unfilled gap being created. Fourth candle prints, goes down first before taking out this high. This one also. Create a bearish gap. Third candle closes back within the range. Long back towards the unfilled. It works on any time frame. It's just about your style. I know I can't be scalping the 5-minute chart and the 15-second for the entry, you know, but does it work? Yes. Is the entry the same? Not exactly. And is it more stressful to go on those lower time frames? Yes, also. Do you consider yourself African? Yeah, 100%. I am African. I am North African. Every time I say like I'm African, people are like, how? Why? Who? What? Yes, I'm North African. What I like about your entries that it takes the pressure off trying to bottom tick entries without drawdown. Yeah, 100%. If I can get the direction right of the next candle of the time frame I found my bias from, I'm good. So let's say I'm using the 4-hour chart to find my bias, and I can have the direction right of a piece of that next 4-hour candle that I'm trying to predict. Amazing. That's amazing for me. If I'm trying to top and bottom tick based on the 1-minute chart, there's plenty of market structure shift that will fail. You know, market structure shift here, break of structure there, you know, another break here. It's like those 1-minute time frame breaks are good for scalping in and out, but are purely noise for me. With my approach, it's literally noise. Depending. If I'm scalping a 15-minute unfilled gap and my time frame for entry is the 1-minute, then it's not noise. But if my target is a 4-hour gap, then the 1-minute becomes absolute noise. Which is also one thing I think is not, we don't talk enough, is like most people go from daily to 4-hour to then 1 hour, and like they find their daily bias and then they go on the 1-minute chart to find an entry. It's like, you might have the daily bias right, but if you scale down all the way to a 1-minute chart to find a break, it could fake you out 20 times before actually going in direction. But I remember in the first few months, not first few months, but like first year of trading, the hardest thing for me was understanding the time frame alignment. Like what I was looking at a 15-minute chart, and then I would go to a 30. I was like, what's the difference between a 15-minute chart and a 30-minute chart? Like, what is this chart telling me that the other one is not telling me? And it was such a good question, but I can now answer, which was like the most terrible thing to actually try to understand, especially with the YouTube videos online. Oh my God. Oh my God. So complicated for no reason. Literally so complicated for no reason. But I if you stick to one time frame, so let's say you're on the 15, lesson I'll say here is like, if you're on the 15, then the time frame that you should look for an entry to predict the 15-minute bar should be the 1 minute for me. So let's say how I view the market. Let's say we break out of that previous range, we create a shift, we also create that inversion gap. For me, I would never try to reverse the current candle that is currently printing if the previous one closed in a certain direction. So let's say here it closed bullish. So the worst play for me ever is gonna be trying to predict a reversal. Why? Because I know this print is filled with buyers ready to defend their positions and create new highs within the market. So instead of doing this, I'm going to try to predict that the new bar will be bullish. And any areas here, any shift in market structure that gets created within this range and then gets it validated becomes a good trade for me to scalp the internal high within the direction of the previous bar. That's like mostly my thesis, how I view those time frames. So like always stick to the time frame you're looking at. If you're looking at a 15-minute chart, then try to focus on what is the next 15-minute bar going to do. Not, okay, there is 15-minute buy side liquidity here, let's wait for a sweep and a shift. Hell no. That's like, no. Let's not do that. Let's not do that, chat. Michael Pokemon Trades, you're fucking funny. He said who, what, when, white. That's the type of humor that cracks me up, brother. That was funny. And yes, it is exactly this type of stereotype. When I say I'm African, they're like, huh? How? You're white. Like, bro, I was born in Africa. I remember, and especially that happened more in like elementary school or like in the beginning phases at school. First, they don't know how to read my name. Second, they ask you like, how is it that you're from Africa? And yeah, that actually made me laugh. You're funny, brother. You're funny. I get that to you. You deserve an account for that. I'm joking. Rage baiting the chat right now. They're gonna be like, no. They're gonna start saying some fucking wild shit to get the account now. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let's keep the chat, you know, clean, sweet, you know. I deserve a 50k select account for that. Put a W in the chat if you're in profits. Let's go. What are you targeting? A little bit above that gap. So let's say 02. I'll put my stop loss to break even once we get past that gap. So it's like, you know, I would have wanted to be in heavier within the pullback here at 77. For me, it's not worth entering my max size here with all my contracts. Why? Because I don't want to be too heavy, too high. My goal is to have the right direction. If I eat from the aggressive entry, let's eat small. Let's eat small. Let's not make too much. Why? Because I don't want a small retracement to force me to get out of a potential winning trade. Okay. I appreciate you, chat. That is, there's still 25 minutes left for our session, but you know, W session as usual. The Asia session chat is like, it goes crazy and it fucking cracks me up also. It's like the questions I'm getting asked, you know, the funny shit I'm seeing. Scale in? Nah. Not scaling into winners. I like to scale in losers. I like that. And I saw, you know, I see everything, right? I see every little comment. I see, you know, the love, the hate, everything. But I saw a lot of people being like, oh my god, there was literally, it literally entered at the perfect top tick. Yes, I did. Now it's reversing. Lex Gucci now. Lex Gucci. Looks like it's finna rip. Even if it pulls back, I'm just gonna add. Literally. If it pulls back right now, if it slips back all the way down, I'm gonna add. If I lose, I'll lose. Alright. What now? I know you said perfect trade, brother. I'm not talking about you. The thing is, it's very hard to make a Asian session trade look good. It's like, it's very hard to make it look good if you're not just top and bottom ticking, because it's gonna range for like an hour or like at least 35 minutes. Thank you, Jack. Appreciate you, my brother. I love you. I appreciate you for being there every time. I see your tweets also, man. I literally see everything. So I appreciate you a lot, bro. Wait, we did the second. We did the second. Yeah. Okay, let's do another giveaway. We're 570. Let's do how many likes right now? We're at 391. Let's make you guys work a little bit. Let's do 480. If you guys can reach 480 likes, you guys are literally goats. Some absolute goats. So 480. We need a little bit less than 100. So 88. All right. Let's do it. Let's try to push towards that. Like the stream. Send it to your, you know, your family, friends. Maybe if you can send that. Your trader friends too, you know, especially. Pretty big rejection so far from this level. Not too worried about it. It could pull back 100%. It could pull back all the way to my break even here. It could pull back all the way to 83. I will still have the same thesis. I'm not looking for a quick trade here. I'm looking for the direction. And the deeper it pulls back, the more I'm going to enter, because I have a lot of conviction with the distribution of the next 4 hours. You know, though, the hardest chart to predict with my framework is the 30-minute. I don't know what's going on with the 30-minute, but holy, the 30 is like the time frame that baits me out the most. It's insane. It's like I think it's gonna reverse, and it literally pulls the low of the time frame I'm looking at. Like it literally ends up being the low day. I don't know if you guys feel the same about a certain time frame, but for me, my op is the 30-minute. I can't trade the 30 for shit. I'm so bad at trading the 30-minute. Best energy. Most of the time, just hop on to feel the vibes. Let's go. Appreciate you, brother. It's because of the smile. I always smile. You know, you guys are funny in the chat too. There's a lot of comments I can't say out loud, which makes me laugh. Easy to make me smile though. I agree with your scaling into loser strategy. That's the correct way to DCA for me. Depending, it's like there comes a point where it doesn't really make sense, because the deeper retraces, the more sellers get brought up into the range. It's like there's no point in DCAing once we start shifting below 06. It's like, okay, now the trend actually shifted. It's like until we stay, like if we stay within this upper portion right here, DCAing makes sense to then have a better average, an average here, so then my stop loss would be there. But entering like once price shoots down aggressively below 50% doesn't make sense for me. It's like I still want to see the aggression above a certain level. You know, I was very close to hitting my second limit order. Would have been so good. It was 7 handles away. 7 handles away from hitting my DCA. Just show him your guns. Already showed that on TTV. Already showed that. Ray mogged the spud. No, I definitely didn't. That guy's like twice bigger than me. Minimum. Yeah, I'm gonna try to look for a bigger push within the 4 hour. You know, I would say like a 5-minute bar. If the 5-minute closes back within the range, I'll like the thing is, it's like if it's pushing towards the gap with my starter position, I will be tempted to hold it for 50% in order to make up for that super small size, which I wouldn't do if I was in full size because of the DCA. You know, if I was in 2 contracts right here, or like 3 contracts because it pulled down, and then we would have hit the gap, my limit would have been exactly here, so like at 05, exactly at the gap. But since I'm in 1 contract, then it's good to see, all right, can we get some more profits out of that? Maybe, maybe not. Pushing back down aggressively again, you see? That's crazy. Isn't the previous 4-hour candle an inside candle? Yes, it is. It is, but of course it is lower probability to trade it to trade those kind of candles. But since there's a gap above and the daily candle closed very strong, I still stand on that thesis. IFVG sell model. Might be. I would still be confident though. How did your overnight trade from yesterday work out? I just got on the stream. Played out perfectly, brother. Played out perfectly. Ended up hitting the target at 9:44 a.m. So was a banger. Entered at 6 p.m. yesterday on MNQ. Took out my profits at the daily unfilled gap. Was a banger. Absolute banger. Do you come live at any other time on your channel? No, I don't go live on my YouTube channel. I only trade live for Brett, my brother. I said that yesterday. I chose to live stream for Brett, my brother. You know, wasn't it difficult for you to switch from holding trades for just a few minutes while scalping to holding them for as long as you now do during Asia? It's hard if you're oversized. If you size accordingly, it's better. It's like better for the mental. 100%. Do you use this strat on gold too, or NQ is better? I use them on. I don't trade gold. I don't trade gold because I have no data on it. I mainly traded NQ for all my life and ES. I would say it's just a market mechanics framework. You know, at the end of the day, you can truly find something that derives from that if it's not exactly that. That's my take. All the way back down to BE. Sheesh. What's happening, chat? Are we getting cooked or not? What's happening? Might be an IFVG sell model here. It might. It looks like it's gonna be another overnight trade. But for my whole thesis, guys, my whole thesis right now is would have a contract here at right here, exactly where I entered, so 74 with 1 micro, another micro here, another contract at 68, 70, and maybe another one at 19, having my average coming all the way down to here, take profit being right there, stop loss being right here, covering most of that candle's range, even letting some room for that low to get swept and then act as support to push to the upside. It is very important for me to watch how this 4-hour candle is pushing, because if it's going to close, if this 4-hour candle is closing, then I will not stay in this trade. Okay. The reason why I stayed yesterday is because I was predicting a daily bar. This is different. I'm predicting a 4-hour candle. So since I'm predicting a 4-hour candle, I cannot let this candle close on me and then still be in the trade. I need to be either out or break even once that candle is preparing to close, because some weird things can happen at those closures. So yeah, this hourly bar doesn't even have any opening price. My just seeing those candles, usually every single candle has an open, high, low, and close. It will most likely come back down to the opening price of that hourly to form the downwick. You see here, this candle has no downwick. Like the likelihood of an hourly candle to have no downwick or no upwick is like what, 20%, maybe 15. So like that tells me that there's a lot of chances of us finding resistance right here to push down, create that downwick at least, and then potentially see those buyers standing up below the opening price. So I see us pulling back even deeper here below 64, all the way to the 50s, even like, yeah, 50s easily. It's an easy pullback towards the 50s right now. If it doesn't, that's better for me, but I can see it happening. I can see aggressiveness from sellers coming in. If it doesn't happen within the next few minutes, this bar will most likely close as a candle with no downwick, which is stuff we could see during Asia, but we truly don't see in the New York session. It's like, look at every hourly bar here that you have with on the left, and try to find me one, or like try to find me two that has no upwick or no bottom wick. You're gonna have a hard time trying to do this. Hard time. So when it's fluctuating and it's not showing any downwick, that gives me the perspective of, okay, he's gonna form it. It's just a question of time. I don't see a reason for the sellers to get involved. That wick, we need to form it. We might have some buyers below that open, ready to buy below that open. We'll see. Hopefully it starts pushing now. I'm going to sleep. See you tomorrow. See you, my brother. How many years of trading experience do you have? What point in your journey do you achieve consistent profitability. Been trading for 4 years. Was very blessed to do that full time since the jump. So like my 4 years, I always say that my 4 years might be someone else's 10, might be even someone else's 12, because I didn't have a job, didn't, was not committed to, yes, of course I was in school, university and stuff, but like I said that even today. I was like, if your degree is not something extremely deep, like if it's not extremely deep, like doctor or engineer, and you're doing something related to like finance or like administration in general, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. So yeah, I had the chance to do that from the jump, like full time. How long did it take me to see results? Quickly saw results, to be fair. Like, I saw results after the first year, and then went up, down, up, down. It was very hard for some time, and I would say after 2 years was really when I saw the difference of like, okay, consistent 1 to 2K, 3K per month. And then, yeah, it's like if you have a Bachelor of Arts, like, my degree is finance. I have no job yet. My degree is finance, and I'm a full-time day trader, full-time prop firm trader. I think that's a lot of people's cases right there. Classic Giga Chat and mods. Yep. That's a question I receive a lot. Like, how much time does it take? It's really depending on what's your role within your household. Like, how much responsibility do you have to other people? It's like if you have to feed kids, that's a whole different game. If you're 20, 22, 25, 30, like it's different. It's a different game. Is this strat not good for trailing drawdown accounts? That's a good question. Trailing drawdown accounts. Trailing drawdown accounts are not good if you're over risking. If you're like, because there's ways to gamify those in terms of like, okay, I'm gonna over risk, and since I make so much money, let's say since I make such a big return on investment, then I'm gonna stick to risking 1/3 of the drawdown that I have on every account because I'm good to pass those accounts, etc. Like there's different strategies to apply depending on the kind of trader that you are, and the strat that you have also. But I would say it's the trailing drawdown really affects you not when you DCA. It's really when the unrealized profits hit, meaning that if you were oversized and you saw profits and you did not take them, then it will kill you. But if you size properly, so let's say your take profit was 300 and you're floating 150, it's like, it's all right, it's okay. Do I think trailing unrealized is a good thing? For like, truly, if you have access to accounts that don't have them, it's a pretty easy decision. Pretty easy. 20-year-old dropout. Shit. Dropping out at 20 is crazy, Jack. It's kind of crazy though. You got this. Kids are a real trading variable, 100%. But it makes you like, because I talk with a lot of traders, also from my community and in general. It's like the younger guys have such bigger discipline problems than older guys. Of course, it's depending, and each case will be different, but in general, you guys have a smaller tolerance for doing dumb shit rather than someone who really wants like to change his life in the next 3 months. Because when you're young, also you're kind of dumb. I say that in the most true way, but it's true. It's like you still need to get that awareness of like, oh shit, okay, this is actually not a trading, like it's actually not a get rich quick. It's actually, it takes years. But if you're older and you get into this business, you know there's no such thing as easy money. You already know it when stepping in the first place, so you're not going to do the same mistakes as them. You're probably not going to blow the same amount of money in a short span, thinking that you're so good, so delusional. Because when you're older, you're more humble in a sense. Of course, I'm old and dumb. That was funny. No, you're not. Oh shit, you made me laugh. I could be wrong though. I think that was just my encounter with most people. I think the younger generation, it's way easier to influence them into thinking that something is easy, and you could change your life in a short amount of time, and you need to take this approach only. And then when the older people is like, they're gonna look at you and smile. They're gonna be like, stop with your bullshit. It's like when you were younger and you try to lie, to tell a lie in front of your dad, and he would look at you like, like, I was not born yesterday, brother. Like, I used to make those cap also. I used to cap like you also. I used to be a little liar like you. Exactly the same. What is your point of view for fixing risk per trade per day? Okay. What time is it? 28. I was like, I'm gonna start talking shit. But what is your point of view of fixing? Know your system so much that you know exactly the worst possible outcome, the best possible outcome, and then manage your risk accordingly. So for me, with my strategy, my approach, I usually don't go for something more than a 4 to 5 trade losing streak, or 6 maybe. Meaning that if I'm not risking at least a 6th or a 5th of my drawdown per trade, I'm leaving money on the table and I'm making it harder for myself. My drop. That's really it. All right, so it's already time for me to say goodbye, guys. It will be an overnight trade for me. Having the target, if you're in two, the first target is 200. Second would be 302. But it was an amazing session. It's always a blessing to be with you guys in the chat. I love you guys so much, especially the ones who are talking in the chat. Thank you for making this possible, and thank you for making this session so enjoyable. So I see you guys tomorrow. We're still in profits. Hopefully we're gonna see this trade playing out. But when this 4-hour candle is gonna be close to closing, I will think about either going risk-free or getting out of that trade eventually, because my framework got disregarded in the next 4-hour basically. Okay, so appreciate you guys so much, and I see you guys tomorrow at the same exact time. Peace out.